one of my local political contacts called me yesterday morning, about Nancy Pelosi. I thought that when she was saying she's stepping down from Speaker of the House, that she was going to be taking a step back from politics. And, I don't, she's probably, you know what, she's probably going to stay in Congress. That's probably why she's still involved. But I thought she got spooked enough by that guy trying to kill her and kill her husband, right? That she would want to be a little bit more low key. But oh no. Oh no. She needs to get involved in the U.S. Senate race, right? Okay, so pretty much everybody, I think, who has come out and announced has said, assuming Dianne Feinstein isn't going to run. And just so you all know, Dianne Feinstein, I think, would be about 91 if she ran for the seat when she regained that seat. She'd be about 91, and she's already exhibiting signs of dementia. So they're all doing this out of respect, assuming Dianne Feinstein won't run. But her family needs to get involved and say, okay, it's time to retire, Dianne. It's time to retire. Let's see what Andrea has to say about this situation. But yeah, I got a phone call yesterday about this.
Next story. This is like everything you hate in one story, when it comes to politicians. We're not having any grand socio-political conversation here. We're just talking about some politicians that make us cringe for this one. But I'm just going to show the headline because it's good, okay? Nancy Pelosi endorses Adam Schiff in California Senate race unless Feinstein runs for re-election.
Yeah, but they're all going to try and convince her not to run.
If Senator Dianne Feinstein runs for re-election at age 89, she has my wholehearted support, says Rep. Nancy Pelosi. Oh, man. That's good. That's good. But there's
that's a real song. You know what, though, Andrea? I mean, if you think about it, the fact that everybody's fucking scared. Everybody's too scared to say it. That shows some real fucking political strength. Feinstein obviously is pretty scary to these people because they can't even just clear cut back a candidate. They're like, I don't know, Feinstein might run again. That's it's almost it's just about as weak as watching the Republicans be mad that George Santos won a congressional seat, but also being powerless to do anything about it because they want that congressional seat. But we have the numbers. If we let him go, we're going to lose one of our numbers, right? So, but the reality is the U.S. Senate is going to go to a Democrat, so it shouldn't be... the U.S. Senate seat in California will go to a Democrat, period. So there's no reason to be this fucking fearful of a woman who needs to retire. And everybody knows she needs to retire. Holy shit.
It's so many layers of cringe here.
Oh my God.
Who's running for the Senate? Isn't it Barbara Lee, Katie Porter, and Adam Schiff? Yep. So far, I believe, have put their hats in the ring. Right? So you can debate Barbara Lee versus Katie Porter. I think that's a reasonable debate to have on which one you would support. I think that's a reasonable debate.
Yes.
But Nancy Pelosi's, she picks the worst guy, Adam Schiff.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But then she's like, Adam Schiff. I mean, this is when you think about it, this is ranked choice voting. This is what this is. This is ranked choice voting. She endorsed Adam.
You know what, though, Andrea? They're going to have the endorsement conference for the California Democratic State Party. I think in either October or November. They do it before the primaries happen. And there's no fucking way the delegates are like the delegates denied Feinstein the endorsement back in 2016. There's no fucking way they're gonna give her the endorsement. So this is like just such a clear cut. You guys are so fucking out of touch, Nancy Pelosi, and probably Gavin Newsom, because he's also pretty recently thrown some praise at Feinstein. But he's part of the same dynasty, right? Like he's part of that same family. And last I read, the two that were polling kind of neck and neck are Katie Porter and Barbara Lee. Adam Schiff is just, it's because she felt like he really had her back in the impeachment stuff. But that's not what politics is supposed to be, Nancy. It's not about scratching the backs of your friends. Adam Schiff is not the right person for that Senate seat.
Schiff, but Diane comes back. She's number one. Right? She's just doing some ranked choice endorsement.
Yep.
That's like a new thing now. Yeah, ranked choice endorsement. But anyway, let's check it. Democratic California Rep Nancy Pelosi will support Rep Adam Schiff of California to replace Sen. Dianne Feinstein if she chooses not to seek re-election, she said in a statement Thursday. I will be supporting House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff, who knows well the nexus between a strong democracy and a strong economy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and this may be heartbreaking to know, but Adam Schiff does not know anything about a strong democracy, and he also doesn't know anything about a strong economy. This guy's a fucking clown, okay?
Yeah.
Now, again, he's a good actor, right? Like, I'm not going to lie. When I watched the first impeachment, I enjoyed Adam Schiff's commentary. He's good at acting, right? And that's great. Like, he should move into, like, he should do a reboot of House of Cards or something, and he can, play Kevin Spacey. I mean, he kind of looks like Kevin Spacey, right?
That's rich.
Right? I mean, hey, like, that's what I'm saying. House of Cards season 1, like, that deserves a remake with someone who's not a fucking serial pedophile rapist, right? So get Adam Schiff in there, make him re-record season 1 of House of Cards, do something. But as far as being a politician, I mean, he's not that good. And as far as being an intelligent person, he's also not that intelligent. Like,
right.
I don't want to burst anyone's bubble here. But, I mean, also this...
Well, that's a silly compliment to offer him when you've got Katie and her whiteboard, right? Katie, on her resume, she used to work for Kamala Harris, pursuing financial situation, like financial crimes, right? Like this is why when she's doing her whiteboard stuff in Congress, she's usually going after the CEOs of big banks. Because she does know, like, she does have that common kitchen table economics personality. She understands what it is to live in a more expensive community. She lives in Irvine. And for the local businesses not to pay enough to their employees so that people can actually afford to live there. Most of the people I know who have lived in Irvine have 3 roommates because it's been expensive since I was a little kid. Like, it's fucking expensive to live there. And I think the only reason that she's there is because she was a professor at UCI. I think I don't know if it was because one of their specialties is politics. They do have a very strong political science department at UCI. I don't know if it was specifically political science or if it had something more to do with economics, because they also have a strong economic center. But she, this was one of the points of one of the hit campaigns they threw out against her leading up to this last November election was that she was still in her housing. She still was taking advantage of having a house by being a professor. I don't know if she's still an adjunct. I don't know what the arrangement is, but I don't think that UCI forces their professors to move if they are no longer teachers, or if they have something, because there's a lot of teacher programs out there trying to encourage people to live in the neighborhoods where they teach. And so there's a bunch of programs out there that'll be like, we will fund half of your house if you live in the neighborhood in which you teach. Now, I'm not sure if they're doing that at the college level too, but I know they do that for K through 12.
This photo is really good. This photo reminds me of that motherfucker who killed himself in Pennsylvania. You know, the fucking, hey man, nice shot.
Oh,
you know that fucking image? What's that guy's name? Like, fuck. Is it like, I think it's Bud.
You're gonna try and find it?
Yeah, Bud Weyer. Hold up, let me get you this photo. This is Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff. Hold up.
Alright, let's see it.
Hold up. Let me get you this shit. Alright. So, alright, you tell me the difference. This is Bud Dwyer moments before killing himself on live television.
That's good.
Right? This is Nancy Pelosi moments before.
That's good. Like,
I'm just saying, they got like the same energy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the same energy here.
It is.
Anyway,
I feel like somebody told her that she had to do this. Like, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she really is that out of tone. Like out of touch, tone deaf. Like, maybe she doesn't really get it. I know Katie must have gone up and down the state and figured out like where her allies are before she even announced, because she is that methodical in her approach. And that's how she was, once again, out of the gates, had an endorsement from Elizabeth Warren. One of the things that my friend asked me yesterday is, I guess it's going to come down to who Bernie endorses. And I'm like, Bernie's probably not going to make an endorsement. He's probably going to stay away from this race. And the reason being is that the most progressive person running in the race right now is Katie Porter. And she was a campaign chair for Elizabeth Warren's campaign. So there's going to be some butthurt there. And I don't know that he is going to be willing to endorse in this race for that reason. Like, he's probably just going to want to stay away from it.
Okay, let me finish doing this. In his service in the House, he is focused on strengthening our democracy, wrong, with justice, and on building an economy that works for all. Also wrong. That's just a lie. So, he's done none of those things. Now, again, I will say, during the first Trump impeachment, I enjoyed Adam Schiff's commentary. If he were a podcaster, he'd be perfect. Mm-hmm. But as a politician,
yeah, not so much.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying. And has Adam Schiff ever said anything that would help Americans during this inflated economy? Has he said anything? Like, he knows how to build a strong economy that works for everyone? What is?
You know what the plus side is, though? If he's running for U.S. Senate, which he more than likely is not going to win in California, right? He's probably not going to win. It would be shocking to me if he actually won that seat. But because he's going to be running for Senate, that means somebody's going to have to run for his congressional district, which is up in the LA area, right? So it's possible they could potentially get somebody a bit more progressive, and they've been in those areas up in LA. They have been getting more and more progressive people in, like city council and their congressional reps. Now, they still have some level of issues of establishment players being able to slip in, like Jimmy Gomez. But the more these people want to try for other seats, the more opportunity there is for LA to do the right thing and start moving more progressive people into the congressional seats. It's just a question of, can they get their shit together, because they have all those fucking feel the burn Dem clubs that are so toxic that it makes it difficult to organize in Southern California. Because the people that you would need to walk the blocks and, promote the candidates and stuff are constantly picking stupid ass fights with everyone around them. They're constantly throwing out hit campaigns and making it like a ridiculous situation. So if they can get their shit together, not throw out hit campaigns, and just focus on actually knocking on the goddamn doors. Adam Schiff's office was in one of the precincts I walked because my co-team lead was like, hey, Adam Schiff's office is right down the street. You want to go walk over there? And like, we got to finish our shift. We got to like finish knocking on doors, maybe some other time. And so I never actually went over inside, but it was like right fucking there. It's like, it's, I don't know if it's Hollywood or if it's like the east side of Hollywood, or it's like, it's over there though. Because she pointed it out to me.
Any evidence of that? But again, Nancy Pelosi probably doesn't know what year it is either. I just can't get over this. Look at this. Okay. So imagine Adam Schiff is the gun.
Right.
Right. And Nancy Pelosi is Bud Dwyer. I mean, I'm sorry. This is... I mean, unfortunately, there's an alternate ending here that isn't playing out, but... maybe someday. If Senator Feinstein decides to seek re-election, she has my wholehearted support. That's the other thing that's crazy, too, is Senator Feinstein, we can talk about her politics, right? That's a discussion I'm willing to have. I think her politics are trash. I think she's a garbage politician, and I think she has been a garbage politician for almost all of her life.
Yes.
That's my opinion. But regardless of what you think about her, she has dementia.
Yes. And she'll be 91.
I ask you this question. What other jobs are okay to perform into your 90s with dementia? Would you want a surgeon to continue performing heart transplants if they have dementia and they're 91? 97, how old she's going to be if she gets reelected and serves out a full term? Would you want a soldier in a war to have dementia? Just think, would you want someone at a restaurant cooking your food that has dementia? But we're allowed to just take one of 100 Senate seats for the whole country and just give it to a demented freak?
Yep.
And again, just to be very clear, I'm not calling her a freak because she has dementia. I'm calling her a freak because of her political record and career. She's a garbage politician. She's a terrible person, all right? She's trash. Human garbage, right? But she also has dementia.
Right.
And that literally makes it so she cannot do her job. She cannot do her job. She's incapable.
Correct.
She has been on video not knowing what year it was. On video. Her staffers wrote a letter saying that they tried to talk her out of running for re-election, and she didn't even know, one, what seat she was running for, and two, what campaign. She thought she was campaigning in like the early aughts. This is like a couple months ago.
Oh, God.
She has dementia. She's incapable of doing her job.
There's also been testament. There's been some of her fellows in the Senate have said that she forgets their name. She repeatedly asks people to repeat their names over and over again, who are people who she should know because they're like her work colleagues, right? And that she used to be pretty sharp in regards to discussing politics, and now she's really fucking out of it. She doesn't know what's happening. She's very confused when she has conversations with people. So yeah, it's a little embarrassing, Nancy Pelosi, that you aren't taking a stronger approach to saying, Diane, it's time to retire. It's embarrassing and it's sad that you would put her in a position where she would still just hold a seat for you, just be a fucking warm body, because she's not going to be an effective legislator. She's not going to be effective for representing California. So when they do this, when people like Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom are like, yep, she still has my support, that's fucking embarrassing. It's time to tell her not to run. This is fucking gross that y'all do this.
And anyone who pretends not to acknowledge that, I mean, to me, lock them up. I've had grandparents that have had dementia or, dementia symptoms,
Yeah.
And you know what I would not do to those grandparents? Force them to do an extremely stressful job and fly around the country every day.
Yeah.
That's not what I would do. What would that be considered? Elder abuse? That's elder abuse. So if you pretend like she's healthy enough to serve another term, I think you should be convicted of elder abuse.
Yes.
That's me. Nancy Pelosi, throw her in jail. This is some crazy shit. I mean, just on a human level. Like, human to human. Like, Adam Schiff will do a great job keeping the corporations happy in that Senate seat. Right?
Right.
He will do a great job making sure that workers get less money and corporations get more money. So why do you need to pretend like someone who has very clearly been documented to have dementia is somehow perfectly mentally fit to run for office? You know what I mean? Like, why? What's the point? Because it's not for politics.
Well, not only is this like a national embarrassment, but for Californians, this is going to be this will be our representation, right? This is humiliating that this is how Democrats act in California. It's fucking humiliating to us because we like, not only are we trying to get more progressive politicians in, but also we have to deal with this sort of shit all the time where we're like, are you for fucking real? Like, don't you care about the constituents of your state? Like, don't you give a shit? Oh my God, even Nancy.
It's not for it's not for power. It's not for making sure the corporations are continuing to win and workers continue to lose. Because if you wanted that, you would just put all your resources to Adam Schiff. This is like a whole extra layer of just like, what the fuck are these people on? They're on drugs. They're sniffing their own farts, and that shit's rancid as hell. It's causing them to have like, you ever see like Beavis and Butthead, when they sniff their own farts and they go like, that's basically Nancy Pelosi. I mean, look at this fucking bitch. Like, what are you doing? Like, does she have dementia? Did both of them just think that it's 1973 again? Like, what the fuck? Feinstein raised $558 from October to December 2022.
Oh my God.
I made more money on my podcast than Dianne Feinstein, a sitting senator, did in the same time frame. Think about that.
Katie Porter raised $1.3 million the day she announced. She matched, and this, considering this is a U.S. Senate seat for one state, right? She raised as much as Bernie did in one day for his presidential race.
I have a podcast where I get like negative 12 viewers, right? And I made more money than a sitting U.S. senator. Hey, I don't know.
She's not going to be relying on people's donations, though, because she's going to get...
Anyway, so if you want to compare Katie Porter and Barbara Lee, I'm down to have that conversation.
Yeah.
But Adam Schiff is a no-go, non-starter.
That actually would be a good conversation, because I don't know a lot about Barbara Lee, other than she is not as progressive as Katie Porter, but she does, that would be a more interesting conversation to me, because this stuff is kind of nonsense. Like, sure, they want to maintain their fucking dynasty of specific people, but that's fucking stupid. Like, nobody's gonna fucking vote for Feinstein. I don't even think the ones who voted for her in 2016 are gonna do it again, because she'll be fucking 91 years old, you guys.
But endorsing Dianne Feinstein, I mean, again, like, that's a whole level of unnecessary extremist cringe.
Yep.
And it's just kind of evil. Like,
Yeah.
There's part of it that's just evil. Like, there's just like, what the fuck?
I know, it's pretty sad.
You know? But anyway, America, baby.
Right?
Whatever.
Let me pull out of this one for a second because I think, let's see if I can move some things around. There is a clip of Amy Klobuchar. Am I spelling her name right? Where she is having this interaction with Feinstein. Let me see if I can find that and add this to. Here we go. I think this might be it.
Get C-SPAN on the go.
Monetized.
Watch the day's biggest political events live.
I have been told that.
By who?
And you may not like it.
A Senate hearing got a bit tense when a Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar essentially called her fellow Democrat, Senator Dianne Feinstein, a liar. Yep. So I'll tell you more about what the disagreement is about, what bill they are talking about, but first, here is the clip.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask the senator a question? Are you implying, Senator Feinstein, that the U.S. government, that the administration is against this bill? You just said that federal agencies had concerns, and I would like to know if you have some knowledge that I do not know, that the administration is against it, since they have made antitrust enforcement, as has the Justice Department, a major priority.
No, I do not know. What I said is I am told that federal agencies have concerns about these provisions.
Okay,
but this
that is a
committee
pretty
has
bold
not
statement.
Had the benefit of their input.
That is a bold statement.
So,
well, I'm sorry, Senator. It's what I think, and I thought we're able to say what I have been told that.
By who?
And you may not like it.
Well, no, I don't like it at all, because I think that it's not true.
And indeed, it's not true. So the Biden administration has not taken a position on this piece of legislation either way. I will tell you what it is about right now. So this is actually good. The legislation in question was introduced by Klobuchar and Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley and bars large tech companies such as Apple, Google, and Meta from favoring their products and services over competitors while also giving more power to antitrust enforcers. It has support from senators across the ideological spectrum, including Cory Booker, Mark Warner, Lindsey Graham, and Josh Hawley. It advanced out of the Judiciary Committee by 16-6 vote.
Look at that. It's got bipartisan support. And so what we don't know here is she experiencing dementia in this moment, or is she acting stupid and acting on the behalf of these corporations that would be impacted by the law?
And while Feinstein, who received $23,000 from Facebook and $22,000 from Amazon during her 2018 re-election bid, eventually voted for it, she appeared reluctant at times. I wonder why she appeared reluctant. These sorts of debates really only ever happen when there is corporate interest involved.
By the way, for you Ro Khanna fans, his particular congressional district is also in Silicon Valley. Okay? That's why he does not make a good progressive leader for us, because these are the same people he's hobnobbing with to get elected in his area.
I mean, how often have you really seen a disagreement like this between two senators of the same party when it comes to, what unions or organized labor are fighting for, or what a poll show or what polling shows when it comes to support for various things? Because we all know when you actually poll people on the various actual specific issues, like Medicare for all, like raising the wage, like dealing with the climate crisis in a serious way, like raising taxes on massive corporations, the vast majority of people side with those progressive policies, those progressive economic policies. But there's rarely ever any disagreement about those when it comes to, the obvious reason being they don't care about actually passing or supporting any of those issues because corporate interests are not involved there. But here, corporate interests are involved, so Dianne Feinstein giving Klobuchar a hard time over this and making up the Biden administration's support or lack thereof when it comes to this.
Which is also surprising because Klobuchar is also establishment. So the fact that they're actually saying, hey, you know what, this is a problem and we need to deal with it, is pretty big because it's not even considered progressive at this point. You've got all of your establishment players behind this, including Lindsey fucking Graham, y'all.
Bill, and in an attempt to try and fight it when in reality they have not taken a position. And the reason likely why Biden has not taken a position is because they also see the financial support that they are getting from Silicon Valley. So Feinstein, of course, in California, that's why she has a more vested interest in opposing this kind of thing. But the party generally also has an interest in being against this kind of legislation because it hurts their own corporate donors in Silicon Valley.
Right.
Or it hurts the potential for future donations from these sorts of massive companies. So it was just interesting to see a rare disagreement there between two Democratic senators in a hearing like that. But I got to say, it's a little refreshing. I hope we see more of this, and it's good to see senators bring up these sorts of bills.
Yeah, it is. So here we go. We're going to have to deal with, we have 4 candidates potentially, but apparently the party's not doing enough to tell Feinstein she needs to retire. They're not doing enough. They're like literally encouraging her to continue running. Come on, Nancy. What are you thinking? You're getting up there too. There's a point at which you need to retire and let the next generation take over.